like this bumper music. Here. All right, enough of that. Tri-City Sports Now, you got Marky Billson here. Do not forget that you, yes, you, can listen on jetbroadcasting.live if you're away, or you can just watch on Facebook, either live or archived. Our 1420 WEMB Sports Radio Facebook page, the most popular Facebook page among any sports radio station in the market. And on top of that, we have coming up on this Facebook page, you can watch my show, live or archived. That's always a benefit and all here. Consider also sponsoring our studio. We're doing a courtesy ad for Garland Tire. You can see right there. I've got, no, we're not. Can I put this a little bit? No, I don't have a, well, let's see here. Do I have a close-up that I can give to right there? I'm touching the screen on our Facebook. You can't see that on the radio, which is your, I mean, you can't see me. And I mean, that's got to be half the appeal. Our female demographics are just incredible due to the fact that you can see the best dressed sportscaster in the Tri-Cities, and dare I say, yes, best looking as well. But anyhow, you got right here, Garland Tire with this Tennessee football poster behind us. Garland Tire, that's where I take my cars to. I got a new tire just the other day with an oil change. But they're over there in Irwin, and Larry Garland does a great job. Trust me. I mean, I think it's worth coming from out of town to go to Garland Tire. It's where I always go, and I think you should too. And the wonderful thing is that there's actually, you think, I'm going to have my car worked on and all that. In addition to the fact they've got things for you to do. They got a TV, they got, magazines. I was reading a fascinating article on Miley Cyrus while I was there. Yes, Miley Cyrus. Enjoying my cappuccino. They take care of you. You even have puzzles for the kids and all that. Miley Cyrus, yes. Yeah. Had pictures of her in L and all that. Yeah. You want to know the news about Freedom Hall. There is no news. There is. But the news is there's nothing going on at Freedom Hall. All right, that sounds sort of like the old Muppet show where, this is a Muppet news flash. There is no news tonight. And goes through, and that was I thought that was hilarious when I was 6. I really did. I thought it was. Well, we're not, this isn't bait and switch. Talked over the weekend to Tom Poquette. He's been a guest on the show. He's the Senior Vice President of Oak View Properties. And you may remember that last year, around February 19th, article in the Johnson City Press, the city of Johnson City, as a matter of fact, was going to look at, hiring an outside firm to have more events at Freedom Hall to make the area more cosmopolitan. Let's face it, Freedom Hall is basically a white elephant. It's where ETSU plays, and then what else you got? There isn't a single event right now on the events calendar of the Freedom Hall website. There's not a single event listed. So presumably not until November, for 3 months, this thing is going to be chirping crickets. And you go in, and it's one of the reasons why I say, look, area needs a new arena. I wouldn't mind seeing something a little bit bigger, forcing ETSU to think about selling more tickets. I wouldn't mind having more floor space so we could have things like indoor football and hockey come to town. And for that matter, having better concerts. But they're going to be having that art center, that, music hall at ETSU. Yeah, it'll hold about 1,200 seats. Same as the Nicewanger, which holds about 1,200 seats. And you get to see the Beach Boys or something like that there. Or what, I know they've played it, but I know some people, they said they were excited that Foreigner is going to be coming to town. When was Foreigner last relevant? I like Foreigner, don't get me wrong. Maybe I'll go to the concert. I might just. But it's Foreigner. They haven't been relevant in 30 years, maybe? They're classic rock, which is great. I love that. It's my favorite genre. I'm the biggest AC/DC fan you ever met. But AC/DC also used to play Freedom Hall because they used to play arenas, and AC/DC isn't going to Nicewanger. AC/DC is going to big-time concert venues, AC/DC is going to stadiums. I mean, they played Patriot stadiums, Wrigley Field, Dodger Stadium their last tour, and also big arenas. And it used to be that, yeah, the big bands had come, you know. I know Elton John was there a couple of years ago, but Elton John has a taste for the mid-size arena, let's say. And he's about the only one. So he comes to Johnson City and he doesn't go to Knoxville or wherever. You know, Elton John will do Rush Limbaugh's wedding for $1 million. I mean, you know, he's Elton John. He's a little bit, you know, you've seen how the man dresses. You've heard the song Rocket Man. He's a little different, okay? Nothing wrong with that, but he's a little different. Here's the deal, though. Tom Paquette, Senior Vice President, Oakview Properties, and they were there was also a firm up in Philly. We had Tom Paquette on last year talk about his plans for Freedom Hall. He thought this would be a great place. Yes, we want to come in, we want to bring the concerts in, and you know what? Maybe in the future we could start talking about a new arena for Johnson City. Guess what? They're no longer in talks with Freedom Hall, and nothing's going on. Now, I know it's a new mayor, new government, and all this, but isn't this disappointing? I mean, I guess it's not really news that there's nothing going on at Freedom Hall, because there really hasn't been anything going on at Freedom Hall since ETSU Basketball moved in there. And really there hasn't been anything in Freedom Hall for about, what? Since Aerosmith shot Ragdoll there? So about 30 years outside of ETSU, there really hasn't been anything going on at Freedom Hall. And it just is disappointing. And I just ask, why did Tom Paquette did not have any, idea on why the talks have died down. But they have. And it's just, this is what we get. We were hearing, let's make this a good venue. No. I remember Pete Paduch once telling me, former mayor of Johnson City, the city needs to get out of the entertainment business. And that was basically what Oakview Properties and another firm out of Philly were looking at possibly doing at Freedom Hall. Why have the talks died down? Why aren't we having events there? And yes, shouldn't the city of Johnson City, just like Kingsport or wherever, be concerned about, making sure they have good teachers in the schools, making sure the roads aren't falling apart, making sure that, the firemen know how to save lives and the police aren't on the take and that they're doing, a bang-up job too, which I'm sure they do, and all this. In fact, when I've dealt with them, they have, so, But it just absolutely, no longer having talks with Johnson City's Oakview Properties, and it's same old, same old. So disappointing. And you just wonder, what are they doing? I don't think Freedom Hall is a very good arena. Has good sightlines for basketball, it's about it. Concession stands are not much. I know, just even being in the media, we're on the floor, there's no bathrooms. One thing that really bothers me is it used to be the media at Mini Dome for ETSU Basketball. We would be on the side of the court, okay? We'd be on the side of the court so you can see the ball game better. Now we in the media are underneath the basket, and I got to tell you, I sometimes have difficulty just following the game from that vantage point. This is not what you see the vantage point on from TV now. And we're also by the visitors' bench. So we don't even get to see the interaction with the home team there. For us, this is not a good venue. Just put it plain and simple. I don't think it's a good venue for the ETSU fan. They do have better sightlines, we'll give you that. But there's nothing around the place. It's get off my lawn. It's maybe a traffic jam if there are a lot of people around the venue because you got a parking lot. And above all, for ETSU basketball, it's that old, we're subservient to Science Hill High School again. Because you're playing on their campus. When you've got one, if not two, I mean, I can debate if Brooks Gym is a viable, venue. I don't really think it is. And I do realize the tomb feel of the mini dome. I understand half the seats are, you can't sit on them anymore. Why they don't make the relatively small arrangements, relatively minor arrangements needed to have a 12,000 seat venue again, I don't know. It is disappointing, and then we hear that nobody wants to come to Johnson City. Gee, I remember when Michigan State came to Johnson City twice. I remember when it was nothing for Wake Forest to go to the Dome, or Virginia Commonwealth, or Virginia Tech. Maybe that wasn't for that matter, NC State, South Carolina. Maybe that wasn't every out-of-conference game. No. But it happened. And now everybody's excited that Appalachian State is going to be the out-of-conference game. There's something that never should have gone away in the first place. We're excited that it's status quo. Just very disappointing to learn that Freedom Hall, no more talks. And again, just letting it evidently, seemingly, from my sources telling me, go to rot. Why? Why? The area deserves better. The area deserves to have shows. They deserve to have major shows. The area should be more cosmopolitan. Just shows me right that the area thinks small. Oh, but we're opening up a 1,200 seat venue. You mean just like down in Greenville? Sort of like, what is the difference between Freedom Hall and Viking Hall? And the Dobbins-Bennett Dome, Buck Van Huss Dome, I guess is what it's called now. I know Science Hill doesn't play at Freedom Hall. All right, that's the way it is. Pro Football Hall of Fame was, over the weekend. We got that. Get to the no-hitter, certainly, later on in the show. Tom Brady is going to sign an extension today, and I've got some takes on that. I think why are the Patriots, on top for 20 years? Why are they? Well, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, yeah, but why? And Patriot way, I hate when people use terms like that, but the Patriot way of doing things, I think, is the right way, and I will tell you why. Well, it's hard to argue with that. They win all the time, Marky. Yeah, I'm going to tell you a little bit why. I think they make it pretty comfortable. Tri-City Sports Now, we're going to be coming back after this.
It's summer, and it's time